It's kind of the same. I mean, in the Webmaster Tools account, you have what's it called? The site links profile that you can create kind of pages, but we do not guarantee that when you create this and you say I want this and this and this, that we're going to show it. The search makes a decision of is this useful or not. And yeah, so but it's very good obviously to look at them, and it's very useful as well for you to check if this is really data you want to show. So let's say they showed here, I don't know, رقم الاتصال بينا or something like that, and they decide no, we don't want to have phone support, we just want it online, so it's not useful for you to show this right here. Then they can remove the site link. So let's say they don't want to show this anymore, they don't have Khadmat OK anymore, they can just decide to remove this. So they're going to enforce us not to show this. But to enforce to show is not yet available, it's more automatic. Same idea as with the wrist snippets of the food. You can upload this. I'm going to show this. Any questions?
The keywords in the mid for page. Google ignore it or it still take
This is a very good question that I get asked a lot. So a while ago, they were really important. They were really one of the main signals. Did everyone hear the question? So meta tag keywords in a page, are they really important or not? Obviously, they're really important. There's two types of meta tags, right? So there's one that only the
description and keywords.
Yeah, exactly. So there's one that only Google kind of sees,
but
or
the
Bing
keyword
sees.
is ignored. It's yes or no?
No, that's the thing. So I need to just explain to people what it is. So there's two things. One is these things that show, and this is really important description because this is what we show on the results. So you want to have a useful description of the service. So this ما يقدمه لك حساب الجاري في البنك الأهلي يبقى imagine if this just shows حساب الجاري حساب خاص حساب جاري حساب صاحبي حساب مش عارف, it will not be useful. So this has to be well done. The other one that you're talking about more of the keywords that we put in there. One, it's important to have them because they give you a description of what the page is, but we ignore them sometimes.
Sometimes or?
Sometimes. It's not all the time. So what we do is we realize that a lot of pages it's really hard to put keywords. So let's play again. Imagine you want to put the keywords for the Ahli Bank. What would you put? There's too many possibilities, right?
What do you call this service? Sub-search or
this one?
Word? Yeah. What's the
It's site links.
site links?
Yeah. So they're site links.
Site links doing search.
Yes.
As a proper keyword, I mean, as a proper word, you say site links.
Yeah, these are the site links of a domain.
I mean, site links of the but what's the service named as by Google? I mean, for example, if I want to search, I want to do more search on this. What should I search for?
Yeah, no, this is a part of the domain. This is not an extra service. This is just a way that you understand that these are probably the pages that you want to look at when you search for Bank Al-Ahli. You probably, I mean, who searches for Bank Al-Ahli and opens the bank page and says, okay, this is exactly what I wanted and leaves. Like you want to probably do something, right? You want to go to a deeper URL. So we showed these deep ones that are probably the ones that you want to click on to begin with. So when you search for Al-Ahli, you probably want to look at this. So this is different as well. So imagine you were looking for Hisab Al-Gari Bank Al-Ahli. We would probably not show you the site links because you don't care. You already have what you want, right? So this is more to kind of help you not have an extra click on the domain and just get to the answer as fast as possible. So, sorry, going back to your question. So what we realized is it's really hard to create keywords for your domain. And the way you do it, you have to use the keyword tool, you have to understand the different variations. So let's say something like this. So football, فريق كرة. There's so many different things that you can use. So you can use فريق كرة, فرق كرة, فريق كرة الكبير, فريق كرة 18. It's impossible for you to do this, and it just becomes horrendous. So we realize this is really hard for people to do. A lot of people don't know how to do it, and a lot of people just give up. So because we can now kind of understand what the page is talking about, and this is what we use Panda to do as well, we can kind of understand what this page is about without having to use the keywords tools that you have. So we look at it, we still look at it, and then look at our page and say, okay, this is similar, so we're going to do this and have a good page.
But the descriptions have more priority, it's more than...
no, it's not, it's really, there's no yes or no for that one. It's really depending on the domain and depending on the decision that the search does when it looks at the domain. It's important to have them because in some specific cases where we cannot decide what this is talking about, then we look at this and it's an extra signal for us to understand what the page is talking about. But if you, let's say the bank decides to do something weird and they decide to put their keywords, فريق كرة, فريق الأهلي, فريق whatever, they're not going to rank for
to
this.
specific some words. It's hard to specific some words.
Yeah, the thing is because you can create this, so you can create الأهلي and you can decide to rank for El Capsa. They can just put this in their keyword, right? And it's not going to be useful when you search for a capsa to have the method. Unless you want to take a loan to make a capsa. I don't know how expensive it is.
So,
Sure.
when you search, when you choose the search,
Sorry?
the search mode.
Okay.
So Google has many keywords. How Google works?
For what? I'm not really sure if I understood your question.
When you choose, when you search about search mode,
Okay.
okay, and we write some bad word, so Google would want to search for it. How Google works with this?
But what do you mean about the bad word?
For example, there is a control on a restricted sites, right? If he wants to say, and if there is some sort of a word coming up, and he's writing, and is there any control? Then how do Google manipulate the language that is being said by the user?
Oh, you mean if he's writing
Yeah.
something that is
Yeah.
bad?
That is the restricted one. That is, having a control, parental control, or having the site is not for what you can say
So
restricted.
you're
one.
ranking for something
Yeah.
and this
Yeah.
is not
How
what you're
Google,
ranking for.
how
Absolutely.
Google,
Okay.
the same mode can bring some bad pictures and
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You speak about functionality.
I think you mean more of how we decide what the content is.
Yeah.
So you use something and sometimes it's not related to this word.
Sometimes the same word can bring some pictures.
Oh, okay. You mean on a search page? So let me try. No, so you mean when you do a search on Google and sometimes you get YouTube videos in the middle of search? Or-
I can actually sometimes people spam you. For example, someone puts Bank Ahli and someone else puts his own picture and you tag it as a Bank Ahli. So Google will appear this.
Yeah, so I mean this is done on
I mean, we are searching for something and something else appears up.
Okay, so let
It
me
could be inappropriate, it could be like pornographic or anything, this kind of stuff.
okay, let me try to rephrase this in a way to see if this is what I understand. So now there's a spammer that created a domain and is ranking for Al Ahli. So when you search for Al Ahli, you get
This domain at the top or
spammyaccount.com. Is this what you mean?
No.
Maybe
ميزة البحث الآن في جوجل ممكن لو كتبنا كلمة في جوجل تطلع بعض الأحيان إذا استخدمنا ميزة البحث الآن تختلف طريقة البحث كيف جوجل كي وورد عندك كي وورد معين
بتختلف في ايه؟ يعني انت بتدور على نفس الكلمه وبتختلف؟
تختلف الدومينز نفسها يوم ميزة البحث الآن
ممكن اقعد معاك بعديها توريني اكزامبل عشان مش متاكد صراحه. So just coming back to your question, this is obviously done by the many signals that we have to kind of understand this is being spammed. So we see a lot of people that hack other domains and try to inject links in them to rank to their own domain back to get the link. So a lot of algorithm action is being done that we understand that this is not natural and a lot of things that we do.
What are our domains? It happened with this, like they are good people, good domains, and certainly Google Chrome and Firefox will start saying, I mean, this sites contain malicious stuff. Someone targeted us.
Yes. So you see, yes, this is actually a very cool service that we have now. So sometimes if your domain has been hacked, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Or whatever, you get actually like a link here saying this site may contain malware.
Harmful material.
So, sorry?
Harmful material.
Yes, so exactly. So this is, we have from a different engineering team. They do analysis on domains and it's actually super accurate that it detects that there's something wrong with this domain. There's a malware or there's a potential for a hack. And what it does is we want to protect the user, right? Because the users trust us. Most of the people are not really savvy to look, let's say if you look for Ahli, you'll see that the domain is ahli.com, then you trust it. If it's spammy domain, Tony, Fadel, whatever thing.com, a lot of people don't see that. Right? So we wanna use this trust of people. We don't want to break this trust, and we want to show them something that is really useful. So to just come back to your thing, with Webmaster Tools, you would actually get a message saying we have detected a malware on your domain, and this is the diagnostics that you need to do. These are the tools that you can use to be able to understand what's happening. I know a lot of people respond by saying, no, I didn't do anything. There's no hack on my domain. There's nothing. Trust me. Most of the time that we've seen is something that you did not see, but our automatic thing, it's not someone looking at it, it's automatically done, and it's super, super accurate. So there's usually something, it's very easy if you have the account, to just look at it and it will give you better diagnosis of what happened there, or why do we think there's something there. And you can always send back for a consideration request for the malware itself. Yes, you were first one.
Okay. As you have written before, Al-Capsa.
Yeah.
And the first free talk was one side. And we are trying to be in first page. So when you are, anybody write about Al-Capsa or any name, come in first free talks or four talks, one side.
This is not usually the case. This is, here you have a couple of domains that are, the first three are actually from Ahli.
No, I
mean
that.
No, I know. I'm saying this is the same idea, right? So this is what you mean. This is the Ahli domain, this is another Ahli domain.
Why?
Right? So this is the thing, exactly, this is a very good answer and has a very good content to use. So they were doing another presentation at the same time, but you might have heard the presentation this morning. We're 5% of the world's population with only 2% content. We have one of the lowest content creation in the world. So it's really hard for us to show you good content. So let's say for a query like that, I'm not sure, maybe we don't have good content to show. That if I show you the domain just once, let's say for the capsules, I show you food.com or whatever it was once, and then you look at the page, the last couple of results are completely irrelevant. They're not useful to you. So we want to show you the most useful amount of information possible for this result. But that doesn't mean that this is always the same. Right? If there's new results that are surfaced when we reevaluate the domains, then your results is going to be good. So let's say on your domain you write an excellent recipe. You're putting, everybody here in the room is following you, so they're all looking at it. Your domain is perfect, the article is amazing and everything. Then yes, of course you have the potential to rank for this higher than the other good one, because now we have good content to show, which is a really, really, really big problem that we have in our market, that we just don't have good content. Unfortunately, at the same time, there's another person doing a presentation of bad examples where we don't have content to show. And he's going the example of showing Arabic search results and English search results and how a huge difference it is. That you have amazing content here that is very useful to people, very specific, and ones on this side that we have nothing to show you. He was just doing the thing right now at the same time, unfortunately. But he's going to share the slides, obviously, so you'll be able to see. So we have a break now, and the next two presentations that I have here is this. So I'm going to be talking about the popular webmaster myths, which are the things that people think is okay, but it's actually in violation of our quality guidelines. The diagnostics of how to use the Google Webmaster tool to understand your domain and to better understand how Google is communicating and connecting with your domain, so you can solve a lot of issues that you have normally. And then the last one, which is the last hour, is how to build very good content to get more people to join. So, thank you very much, guys. It was beautiful. Thanks. So I'll see you in half an hour if you decide to listen to the team بتاع جوجل سيرش كواليتي والويب سايت تيم. اللي احنا بنعمله ان احنا الجول بتاعنا ان انت لما يوزر يخش على جوجل سيرش ويدور على حاجه اول الريزلتس تبقى اللي هو عايزها. فالاكشنز اللي احنا بناخدها وكل حاجه ان احنا نشتغل فيها المنتاليتي بتاعتنا ان احنا عايزين نوصل للاوبتيمال سوليوشن، ان انت تخش اول ريزلت هو احسن حاجه ليك. فبلايستيشن فات كنت بتكلم شويه عن الشغل اللي احنا بنعمله بالحاجه اللي احنا بنعمله على داي تو داي بيسز. دلوقتي هتكلم اكتر على ايه المشاكل اللي احنا بنشوفها في الماركت العربي وايه الحاجات اللي انت ممكن تعملها عشان تحسن الويب سايت بتاعك. والويب ماستر تولز، مين عنده ويب ماستر تولز كان في الناس الجديده او سمع عن ويب ماستر تولز؟ يا ريت بعد الحصه دي. تاني عربي ولا انجليزي؟ انجلش. So, I'm one of the people that does analysis on Google search in Arabic, and a couple of things that I'm going to show today are popular violations of the quality guidelines that we have for webmasters. That people don't do it because they're mean, they do it because they just don't know that there's quality guidelines. So, from the new people who have read the Google quality guidelines, you're the perfect target for this presentation. Okay, cool. One of the most important things that we have at Google is when you're designing a page, I hear this a lot, especially a lot from the people here, is you want to make money from your domain, obviously. Right? You're not running a charity. Unless you have a blog that you share with your mom. So the important thing to have is that you have to design your domain, and every decision that you have, you do it for the user. You want people to come every day. You don't want to make a quick action that you do something so people log in and then they say, okay, this is not what I wanted to do, and they leave. You don't have to worry about this short-term thing. You have to think more about the long term. So you have to create very compelling content, organic content, that people would open this domain and be like, this is exactly what I wanted. I'm going to actually share this with my friends so they can read the same articles. This is how you get a brand, kind of, that people would always follow you. So, a lot of people do this and they do it really well. The problems that they have, kind of, is that they're not very informed. And this is what we're trying to do with G-Days and with a lot of communications that I'm going to show here of how we want to reach out to you guys to kind of help you so you can help us. Because the more great content that you create, the better our results are going to be. So it's not you and us, it's more of us working together to create a really, really open community for the Arabic-speaking countries. And it's funny that I'm doing this in English when we're talking about Arabic-speaking countries. Anyways, so one of the top things, everybody knows, of course, that linking is important. So if you want your domain to rank, you have to create content, you have to have good links, and someone has mentioned before, we're sitting here, not here anymore, that yeah, if you have good links from very big domains like Google or I don't know, like a big news site like in Egyptian Al-Ahram or Ahli.com or whatever, this is a very good signal that this is a good domain, right? So we give it kind of a weight that this is a good sign that your page is a very good page. So, first myth, and this is going to be the first game for a month. So, links. Obviously you want to get links to your domain. So links, regardless of their source, are important for SEO and important for you to rank. Is this true or false?
True.
False.
False.
True. So wait, let's do true. Okay. False. I don't have that many false. So it's false. Why is it false? It's important to have links, obviously, to your domain. But it's more important to have related and useful links. It's important for you that people that link to you are because they're convinced of what you have to offer, or they're from good reputable sources, that you're not just going to everyone today and saying, send me links, send me links. You're not buying links, you're not doing this. You're not trying to trick the system. You're not just trying to get kind of fake links to your domain. You want your links to be organic. Because something really important to figure out, and I was talking to this with a couple of people, is that quality is much, much more important than quantity. So if your domain has 100 million links, and all of them are from really bad websites, this is actually a really bad sign for us to know that, you know, you're not having good content. You're just creating this because you just want to get links for it. But if you have much less, let's say a couple of thousand links from very reputable sources, from I don't know, from Engadget, from like, let's say you have a tech blog, so you have Engadget, you have Gizmodo, everyone is linking to you as a source of a special article. It means that you actually have a good one because people that we consider trustworthy are trusting you. And this is much more important than the quantity of links that you have. So, this, how many people have seen this before on an Arabic site? So this is, I don't know, the colors are not really good, but this is a comment on one of the pages, and he's going, Akarat Saudiya, Akarat Riyadh, Akarat Qatar. So, show
in English box, huh?
Sorry?
In English box.
Oh, but English, come on. How many people have seen this? Like, just look around you, look how many people put their hands up. Can you keep your hands up? This is a really, really bad that everyone has seen this. So, do you think this is a good way of getting links? That you just completely go to people that have no idea and just attack it? Sure.
They sometimes use the font and the background the same color.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't show.
We call it white on white, exactly. They try to kind of hide it in a way. This is kind of automatically done as well, so you're not really hiding. The system doesn't see white and white and goes, oh, I didn't see it. So this is a really bad example of people abusing really good domains for their own gain. So this, of course, is all links and linking back to the domain. So what do you think is going to happen when we see this? We decide that, you know, this domain that's getting these links is probably a really bad one because he's not just doing this once, he's doing this millions of times. So yeah, he has millions of links, but they're all the same way. We're not going to look at them at all. And this is in a violation of our domain, so he's actually going to kind of get punishment for it. Another way that people abuse kind of linking is link exchange. So we're not kind of against link exchange itself, it's kind of to be relevant. So you go to a football site, you have, let's say, philgoal.com, it's like a famous Egyptian football site. You have on the side links, you would have Al Ahli Club, which is Club Al Ahli, Zamalek, whatever. This is useful because probably if someone, a human, is on the website, he wants to read about sports, he probably is interested in thinking these links are kind of related to him. But imagine now you have a website about the football, and it has, I don't know, computers on the table. It's really completely unrelated. Like who would work from laptops to computers, or selling shoes, or selling something completely useless. So this is usually done through this way. So someone goes in and says, I'm going to have Tabadul Rawabit on my website, and the way I do it is pay me $100 every week or every month or whatever, and I'm going to give you a link, or I give you 10,000 links. Again, we understand that this is a bad way of doing it. This is not organic. This is not what the users drive. This is kind of a way that you try to abuse the system rather than focusing on users. Again, users don't want to see this. Another way of doing as well is, of course, what I was saying is that you're just buying the links for the purpose of having a lot of links, so you can fool search engines like Google or Bing or Go.net or whatever. And it's done by this. If you can see text, it's just a guy just saying, yeah, I'm going to pay you money to get some links. So another thing as well is directories. So directories are super popular in Arabic. Is it important for you to be in a directory? Do you know what the directory is? Delete. So is it important for you to be listed in a directory? So how many people? Yes? No? Yes. See someone with the half going like, I'm not sure. Maybe yes, maybe no. It depends on how you answer it. So again, it's kind of false. Wait, it's not completely false. It depends on the directory. So if it's a directory that is very famous, it's a directory that is well organized, and a directory that actually provides useful information. So let's say Yellow Pages. So Yellow Pages is basically a directory, but it's a reputable directory. It's not trying to fool you, it's not trying to sell you links, it's not trying to do anything mean. It's showing your domain with a description of what your business is and how to reach out to you, the phone numbers or whatever. The domains that I'm talking about more, I'm going to show in the next example. Anyways. So this is an example here of a bad domain. So this is a domain just saying أضفنا وأحصل على زوار. You're going to be rich. Everyone is going to visit your site. You're going to be the first. It's a lie, obviously. And the way to do this is that you can just look at the domain itself. You look at the page. It's completely useless. I see these, and I'm going to show you the next example, I think. Yes, so this is one of the examples. I already gave you the answer, unfortunately. But so obviously it's bad for you to be listed in bad domains. You shouldn't go to them and say, please put me in. And at the same time, you don't have to create a directory for your own domain. So I see this a lot. And by a lot, I mean millions. Someone has a domain about cooking. And they just decided to create a directory called Dalil. And they just put hundreds of millions of websites. Why? I have no idea why. They think that because I am linking to more pages, then I'm a better site, right? I have more links outside and I have more people linking to me, then it's going to help me rank. It's not going to help you rank. It's in violation, again, of our quality. Because, look at this. I don't know if many of you can read. Can you read this from the back as well? So this is completely useless, obviously. This is not yellow page. If you have the yellow pages in the directory, they're not going to say yes for you to print this on the paper. Right? This is just completely keyword stuffing the entire thing, which is in violation to us. So please don't do it and don't list your domains in this one. This is a very tricky one. So doorway pages are very important in order to get more visitors to your site. So doorway pages from other sites to yours, or in your own site that you have pages acting as a doorway to your own main domain. Is this a good thing to have or a bad thing to have?
It's okay.
Good. It's good. Good.
Good, good. Bad? Good. So, good. Who said you were the first one that said it? Why?
Because, okay, someone come to my page to Google business page. I want mentioning to home page to go back to my home page to see all service I provide.
Okay. So, this is a good example. They want this to be something good, that they search for something, and then you went back and said, I want to see the home, you want to see the home page, right? So I'll tell you a bit of why. So now the user wants to see something specific, and you decided for him.
No, we just link home page.
Yeah, no, the link is fine. But what I mean about doorway is that you open this link and it automatically sends you to the home page. So exactly. So this is, okay, I might have tricked you with the question. So with doorways, what I mean is two things. One is you open a page expecting to see something, and it just sends you to something completely different. So you open, I don't know, example, Tony.com, and it actually sends you to TonyFadel.com. You're kind of, exactly. It's really annoying because this is not what I want to see. I wanted to see something specific. The same again in your own domain. So I'm going to show you an example of doorways that I see. So I'm not sure if you can really read this. So this is exactly a copy of the domain. I've looked at the source code. It's exactly the same code. The only changes that you can see at the top is this is chat2.html page, and it's chat.html. This one is chat1.html, and it's chat.get. So do you see how this works? It's exactly the same page. The only reason, can anyone tell me why he did this? Anyone? For a monk? You have a monk already. I can give you another, but you can answer. Wait, anyone else want to answer?
Utilizes the content for his benefit.
Exactly. So I'll give you a quick one and explain a bit more the idea. So like the gentleman here said. So what he does is, this is again another example of people not thinking about the user. He's thinking about himself. So what he wants to do is, let's say this chat is a chat for only Riyadh. Okay? What he's trying to do is for someone that is looking for a chat in Jeddah to go into his service again, even though this user doesn't want to. He specifically wants this, but he's giving him chat Jeddah, chat whatever. Like he makes, of course, 100 of these because he wants to rank for these words. So again, this is the way that I kind of want you guys to think about it. you need to think about the user. Would the user be happy to look for Chef Jadda and be, yes, it's going to open a page that looks at Chef Jadda, but the content itself is not related to what he wants. This is a way that you trick users into always opening your domain. And this is just a copy of each other. So obviously, this is one of the things that are against our quality guidelines, because we want users to decide what they want to something to be relevant to them. Because I see a lot of them, let's give you a worse example, is with countries. So chat Egypt, chat Saudi, chat Kuwait, chat whatever. So I want to chat with people from Egypt and get to know more people and make more friends in Egypt. When you create these ones, you rank for, let's say, chat Kuwait, it's completely useless for me. I can't even understand what they're talking about. So again, this is in a clear violation of our rights. So let's say some of you here have done some of these things, but you don't want to say it in public. I'm not going to say anything. What do you do from here? So it's, how many people have Webmaster Tools accounts from the new year? Just a couple of you, everyone? So, more than before. Do you use it? That's the second question. Okay. So, what do you do? And how do you actually figure out that there's a manual action or an automatic action on your site? How do you diagnose it? And what do you do from there? So, the way you do it is you realize suddenly that your site is not on Google anymore. Do you know how to figure this out? So, I'll show you quickly here. So let's say I'm going to search for Fizgold.com. Okay? So Fizgold.com is a big site that's ranking first, so you can clearly see it. Your site maybe is not one of the top ones. So what you can do if you do site, 2 dots, Fizgold, what happens here? It only brings you back results from Fizgold. So every page here is going to be from Fizgold. This pretty much what it does, it searches inside your own domain. So if your domain is not available on Google, so let's try to do something random with it. Let me decide. It's not there. Nothing is there because your site does not exist. For now, at least. Please don't create this domain. So, let me start again. So, this is the way for you to figure out if your domain has been, like we talked earlier, has a manual penalty on it that is not there available, or is automatic. And what do you do from there? You can look as well to your Webmaster Tools account. You can check if you received a message from Google saying we've realized that there's some of your pages are in violation of quality guidelines, so we're not going to show them off to people because they're not within the quality guidelines. Right? So you can receive this message and then you would understand that yes, there's a spam-related problem that I need to fix. Again, maybe you bought a new domain, and this domain was previously a spammy domain, and we had put a manual action on this domain. So your domain is now good, but because there's a manual action, then tough luck for you. So the way to do it is one of the examples that we sent. I showed this before, but I want to stress this again. If you have a Webmaster Tools account, you might have seen this page if you were in violation of the quality guidelines. So what this happens is when we take a manual action on your domain, we send you a message saying this. So this was, yeah, this is we've اكتشفنا صفحات ذات جودة منخفضة على موقعك and blah 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 blah. We explain exactly why did we take this action on your website. We give you this link here. This is from our forum. This is a way for you to understand why did you violate it and how to fix it. So this takes you to a step-by-step procedure of you to reevaluate your domain, reevaluate your pages, and understand, okay, oh, this is what I've done wrong. I didn't know that this was against the guidelines. I'm going to fix this, and after you've done this and changed it, and you think this is now perfect, you recheck obviously for other things as well, since you figure out that there's something called quality. And then you go to طلب الإعادة نظر. This is a reconsideration request. What happens when you click this one is that it sends our team a request saying, I got your message. I understand that I've done something by mistake. Maybe it wasn't my fault, maybe I was trying to do anything. And what I've done is this page and this page and this page were against your quality, and I've removed them, or I've fixed them, or I've changed the content on them. So please look back at my domain and put me back, or take out the manual action. So what this happens is one of the people on our team, analysts, sits there, reviews the entire domain manually, not automatically anymore. We're manually looking at this, and we take a decision of, is this good, or is there something that he hasn't changed it? Obviously, sometimes people get the second message of saying, yeah, you're still penalized, and he doesn't really understand. Why do I still have like kind of this manual action violation thing? What you can always do is you can go to Muntada Musada. There's a lot, there's a big community there, people from Google, people that are super technical, that we call TCs. So TCs are people that are always on the forum. They have very good experience. And we've actually reached out to them and said, okay, we're going to give you more rights than most people on the forum because you're so good at answering. That we made an agreement with them. We disclosed a couple of things with them before we actually released them to say, listen, we're going to do this and this and this. These are the ways to take care of it. So he knows more information. He can reach out to us personally. That he personally reached out to me and said, yeah, look at this guy. He has this and this and this. What do you think? I checked it, but I'm not really sure. So we're always looking for you TCs to help us out. So if you have good experience, or even if you don't have good experience, just being on the forum is an awesome way to learn. I learned a lot of things just by other people's experience, right? So it's always a good thing to ask there first. So the reconciliation request. This is how it looks like. So I've done everything. I've selected my domain here. I clicked all the I agree things. I run the quality things. And in this box is where you explain how you fix the problem, or how you fix the manual action. So tips for request. Please use clear contact, concrete examples. So actually give us a useful example, like here. I would say this is a guy that had one of the things that we discussed before about linking. So he just discovered, oh God, I'm not supposed to do this. So he just goes, yes, I had previously purchased links to my site. I've contacted the sources of the people that I bought links from and said, please remove me. I don't want to be listed anymore. And the links no longer exist. Or another one that had these doorway pages says, yes, I removed these static doorway pages that I created. I understand now that they're in violation. And he can give us a couple of examples. So here it's saying that, I don't know if you can see it, I had all the pages under the doorway folder. Maybe they're not under a folder, a couple of pages, you can just give us examples so we would know that, yes, you've actually done something. I'm really sad to say this, but a huge percentage of the reconciliation requests that we get are not so flowery like this, right? They just say, why did you do this? I didn't do anything wrong, I'm not doing anything, and then you open a site like it's completely spammed. I'm not trying to. And the best one I got, so in the Egyptian Revolution when we had it, someone actually sent a request saying, انتم الفلول. انتم من النظام السابق عشان كده. Of course, Google the company, just against this one person. So we try to give you a lot of tools to communicate with us to better understand, because we know that this is lack of education more than you being a mean person or a bad person. And this is why we have the G-Days and everything. We just try to reach out to you in different ways. What happens after you've discovered that you had a manual penalty on your site, and now, obviously, you don't want to have a manual penalty. So you decide to send a reconciliation request. This is, again, done manually because we want to make sure that it's not algorithmically or anything. We want to make sure that everything is correct and we can remove it. So people sit there, they watch it, so it takes a bit of time. So don't expect to send a reconciliation request and keep refreshing the page waiting for your domain to come back. It doesn't work. I've seen this so many times. I've actually literally sat with someone that going like, I sent it, why is it not back? And he's just looking at me like, I just sent it now. I'm sitting next to you, how did I check it? So, please, we're trying to always reach out to you in a better way, so I understand that maybe our communication is not the best, but we're always experimenting with new messaging to say, okay, we're looking at it, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're always trying some experiments, and then we see what is the best approach to reach you. And if you have any ideas of what you would like to see from us, then of course always reach out to us and say, what if you do this, what if you do that? We get a lot of things. So one of the ideas that we've done, and actually I think, I'm not 100% sure, but it was influenced by people as well. So one of the main things that we look at, as I said before, is users. So users are the most important thing. So what we realized is a lot of users, they open a domain, and as soon as it's open, they see something bad like this, they go back instantly, because they don't want to read this. And what we realized is this is a huge signal for us, right? If people open your domain and come back instantly, then there's something wrong with your domain, and we should look at that. So we started showing now in search results, if you open a page and come back quickly, you'll see next to the page it says block this page. It says this is a bad page that I don't want to see. And what happens when you click it? You don't see any results from this domain anymore. So you don't have to search again. Let's say you search for the same thing a couple of weeks after, you don't see the same page again. It's a really bad experience for you, right? Because you don't want to see it. So it's disappeared. And at the same time, it automatically sends us the page saying, you know what, people are blocking this page. So imagine I have a domain, TonyFadel.com, and a million people have blocked me. Obviously, I don't have a million people that hate me, right? Personally. They hate my domain. I hope I don't have a million people that hate me. But so they hate my domain. And since people don't like it, then we're not going to show people this domain anymore. It's not going to rank as high as other things because it's clearly not useful. So please use these ones. They're really helpful for us to bring you better results. So now this person has done the reconciliation. He's waited for a couple of times that someone has looked at his reconciliation and everything is perfect. This is exactly what we wanted. He's changed everything that needed to be changed. And we send him this. So yes, we تم إلغاء الإجراء اليدوي, and now it's fine. Your domain should be back into the queue to be indexed again. Two things to be very important. One, let's say your domain was ranking first. You got a manual action, and then you were successful with reconciliation. It doesn't mean you're going to be first again. What this happens is Google, every time we call the domains, we update kind of the quality of the domain and how they're being ranked related to the specific term. So it doesn't mean, I hate this word that people say, especially in the Arabic market, it's masik kilma or masik makan, something like that. So people send back saying, I was number 3 on Google, and I've done the reconciliation quite successfully. Why am I not number 3 anymore? If you pay close attention to Google, you realize that the search results change. They're variable. Because if they were not, that means that the page that is ranking first now is always going to be first. And that's not the case, obviously. Because it would just be easy. We would have just 10 links on every page. And people can just go home and never do any work. But it's not the case. We always look, we try to get all the feedback that we can. We try to introduce new signals. We have over 200 signals now. And we always try to introduce new signals to make better decisions of what would be the best solution for people. Ultimately, we have now, how many people have searched for something and had to go to the second page of Google to find the result? So a couple of people, so we're not doing a great job. How many people have opened the first page and found the best results in the first 3 links? Okay. So clearly this is a good one. What we want to reach, hopefully, is that you search for something, the first link is the best result. You never have to
sponsor that.
Sorry?
Usually that link is sponsored.
The sponsored links are a bit different, obviously. There are ads that I have never clicked, and I didn't say this on camera. But sometimes they're useful because the way our ads work are very different of anything else, right? We try to show you ads that are kind of related. To be completely honest, the only ad that was super related to me was on Mother's Day that I have completely forgot. So I was home, it's Mother's Day, I'm like, oh God, what have I done? So I wanted to find a flower shop close to me. And I haven't been living home for a really long time. And everything changed, obviously. So I was like, flower shop, Cairo, which is, like, it gives me some results, but it's not super specific. The ad was just showing, I live in Zamalek, and the ad was just there saying, last minute flowers in Zamalek. How do you know? Yeah, and I just clicked it, opened it, then had flowers, and my mom was like, oh, you're the best son in the world. Please, mom, don't watch this video. I'm sorry. So again, we always try to change the philosophy that we want people to search for something and find it right there. You don't have to be in effort, because the better results that we have, the better information that we have, and it's information for the future. People search not just to waste time, they search to find new things. You want to find new information, you want to find studies that you're doing, you want to find awesome new things to do, or to learn, or to cook, or to sing, or anything. So the faster and easier you can reach this information, the more motivated you're going to be to change the world, right? So we try to give you a couple of tools to help webmasters, like yourselves here, the people that have domains, that we can reach out to them and kind of talk to them. Because let's say you have a domain, I don't know what the domain is. If I see something on your domain, I can't reach out to you and say, hey, listen, do this and this and this, or maybe we're not indexing, or there is something. So using webmaster tools, I can send you messages. I showed previously in one of the things before we weren't sending that many messages, now we're trying to open up and be more open to people to help them create better content. So in the last 2 months alone, we sent over 700,000 messages. Obviously not to one person, because that's very impossible, but we try to communicate more of the new things that we're doing, new ways to help you. So you can use the Webmaster Tools account to do a lot of diagnosis work. So let's talk about building content a bit, and I'm going to show you how to diagnose your domain. So building content. So building content, I love this picture because it's a picture of a Lego. And this is kind of how your domain is, right? You're not trying to do just one thing and do it really well. It's not going to work. It's a whole pieces that you have to stitch together. And then you can have your play. Anyways, so first, I get asked this a lot. Okay, if I'm not putting my domain in the directories or the leads, then how does Google find me? I was talking to a couple of people here. How does Google work? There's an awesome video by Mike Cutts. I'm going to share it on my stream with the G70 tag, so you can see it. It's an awesome video animation showing exactly how crawlers work, right? How we send our spider, they're on active, and they find the domain. What they do is they look at the links, come into this domain, they follow these links, and it just becomes expanded, right? So imagine you have one domain that's 4 links. I follow the first one has 5 links. I follow these 5 links, you can see I don't have that many fingers, so it's not working so well. But you can understand how it really goes really quickly. The other way to do it, to be completely sure, is you can go to add URLs. So add URLs, you put your domain right here, you do the captcha thing, and then you do a subtotal. We get that this is a new domain, we're going to start doing it. Of course, it's not instant that we call it, and we don't say that it's going to be indexed. There's a lot of factors for that. But we now know it exists quickly. So, Webmaster Tools account. So, the people that raise their hands for Webmaster Tools account, have you seen these pages before?
Yeah.
Have you used it? How many people have used the robot.txt file? Better than I expected. So, this is an awesome tool. Actually, wait, let me go back to you because I have a couple of ones. So, who raised their hand? Can you because you haven't got one yet. Can you explain a bit about what robot.txt files are?
Yeah, the file contains the folders and that enhanced spider to look for.
Exactly. It's half of the thing. So
Don't get the efficient to the spider to the content of folders.
exactly. So this is a much better thing. So thank you. You deserve much. Because this is a tricky question. Thanks. So the robot.txt file, it's a standard used on everything. So it's not just used by Google, it's used by Bing, it's used by Yahoo, it's used by Apple. What they do, this standard is this. It's a TXT file. Basically what it says, here it's saying user agent star, which is all, and allow all. So this is just saying, yes. So allow this for computers, for mobile, for anything, because the user agent is kind of the device that you're using. And I want to allow it for everything, and here it's saying this allows search. So I want Google to index all the pages, but not index the folder search. Why this is useful? It's for many different reasons, but I'll show you first how to easily create and how to easily know that you have a robot.txt file. So any domain, after you put the domain, you go / robot.txt file, even google.com. If you do this, you will actually see the txt file. So you can see the content that we have and what we blocked. We've made it really easy because a lot of people didn't really understand how this works. They just copy it from a blog or whatever, and they end up blocking themselves. And then they're not indexed by Google, and they have no idea. They're freaking out, like I have good content, why do you not like me? And it's just because you told us not to index. So what happens here is at the top we have create robot.txt file and SLF and one URL. So create robot.txt file is an awesome tool that we've created. I didn't even have a slide for it because it's that easy. It just says, do you want to block something? No. Do you want it to be shown on all devices or on just mobile or on just phones or on tablets or on laptops? You just kind of drag and drop down boxes. You just click a couple of them and you create generate and it just generates the code. So you don't have to write any of this manually. Just automatically, which is cool. The Isolet and one URL, which is this. What it does is you can specifically send a URL. You say, I don't want this URL to be indexed. So there's a couple of good reasons for that. One is, let's say someone was asking me before, I don't remember what you're doing. Someone was asking me, what if I have a domain and I have a couple of pages that I don't want people to see? So let's say I have my own personal domain. I uploaded some pictures to my personal domain, but I don't want people to search and find these pictures through the search bar. So I can just use the Isolet and I just delete this URL. So let's say a very personal example for me. I had a MySpace page, a really old MySpace page. I didn't even remember I had it. And then when I searched myself, I actually found the link and it had a picture, like a really old picture of me that I looked really bad. And I didn't want people to see it online, to be honest. So I was doing there and I just went to please, Isolet URL, this page, because I don't want it to show in search. I don't want people to search for my name and find this thing. So you can do this to remove pages. The other thing that you can do, and why we have this kind of a disallowed thing. So here, search, we're not going to index all the search results. So imagine if Google, every single person that does a search, we save that page. Imagine when you search for Google, you're going to find 100 billion of pages because these are all the pages that we saved. So we don't want to show you this. It's useless to you. Another example was if you went to the Web Optimize is, let's say, the Exciteful was doing this, you want to do a new version of your site. Right? So you're still testing, it's maybe not the best results, you're still trying to do it, but you wanted to keep it kind of live so you can live test it. But when people are searching for you, you don't want to show them this version, because if someone new opens it and it's incomplete and it's not working well, it's going to say, I hate this domain, and it's going to leave. And again, this is going to calculate back to us saying that people don't like your domain. So what you can do is just do a disallow on folder new. So every page I put after you can still access it from online. So if you know the VPRL, so if I put Tony Fadel /new/ whatever example1.com, .html, it's going to open that. But if I search for it on Google, it's not going to find it. Again, one of the things that we always think about the user is a lot of people don't know this. So how many people knew that you can do this? How many people knew that you can use the robot.txt file to block and to create and so? Exactly. Look around you. More than half the room didn't know about this, which means that they can mistakenly block themselves. And I've seen a couple of people. It's horrible when you have no idea what's going on. Because you open it, you click the link, it's there. Why can people not see it? So what we're doing is sometimes we override the robot.txt file in certain cases. If you absolutely do not want us to open this page at all, then you do this, and then there's other tags that you can use on your own page. So you do, sorry, I thought I had the example right now. You do a no index tag, and I can share with you guys, if anyone is interested, just send me a request. I'm going to send you the whole step-by-step on how to introduce the no tag in your code, and this means that no, under no circumstances do I want you to index this page. So another really cool feature that we have something I was saying to you. So fetch of Googlebot, what it does. So do you guys know what Googlebot does? So the way we search pages is obviously when Google is indexing the pages, it doesn't really see the page the same way that we see it here. Actually, this is how Google sees kind of the page. It sees the content types, the expiring, it gets a couple of code stuff, and then it has the page here, which is usually just the text of the page. And this is how we can learn what this page is talking about. So it's very cool that now we actually have this tool. So you can put a page, let's say a page that is not ranking so highly, and you don't really understand why. So you put the page in and say, okay, so what does Google think about it? So someone was mentioning Flash, that they have a Flash domain. Yes. So exactly, this is what I was going to say. So Flash, it's an awesome tool to use. You can create super easy animation and everything. The drawback of Flash is that it's what's it called? It's a box, right? So what happens is when Google searches a Flash website, you can't really see the content at all. You can. This is what I was telling you. So if you put your domain here and fetch as Googlebot, you'll see empty, or you'll just see Java required or something like that. We work really hard to try to open it up because we understand how a lot of new people, including my brother, he's not really familiar with like creating pages and HTML and JavaScript, and it's really hard, obviously. So he just goes to one of these websites that has Flash, and he just creates a Flash domain. He thinks it's super cool, awesome, and everything, but it's not indexed, so it doesn't get ranked really high. Of course, there's ways of doing this that you can have an HTML page. So let's say on an iPad, the iPad doesn't read Flash. So what you want to do is, if a user opens it, you're not going to show him an empty paper. So it detects that it's not Flash, so it shows you another page in case this device cannot read Flash. So the same way, if you do this with Googlebot, then you read the other page and you kind of understand. So it's kind of a hack. But we're always trying to understand Flash better, and JavaScript redirects much better. So this is an awesome tool. Now we've done fetch at Googlebot, so we'll have it done Googlebot. You put a new page in, you checked it, it's perfect, it's been fetched. What you can do from here is, if this page was not indexed, you can just click this one here and it says set interface. So this just means that you've added a new URL at the same time. So you've seen how Fetch would see it, you're satisfied, and you just send it in. So you just send this URL, or you can send your direct. So this is another way. You can see here, this is one of the tests that we wanted to do, so the page does not exist, or whatever. Have you ever opened a website and it was a 404 page? So this is what happens. So this page was there, and then they removed it, or there's no content on it anymore, and it brings you back up 404. Again, it's kind of, it's okay, I guess, but it's a bad experience for the user. You don't want him to open a page that once upon a time had content, he's super happy to find it, and then it's a 404. So what you can do is, you can just remove this page, or let's say you're using a CMS that created a couple of pages, they're all 404s. If you use a Google Fetch, you see here that it says لم يتم الحصول عليه because it's a 404 page, so it does not exist. So again, you can use, if you want to block like these pages that are shown 404, when they're going to be indexed and Fetch is going to realize it does not exist, then we're not going to show it anymore. But in the meantime, you can use the block URL to block these pages that are 404 to remove them quickly. So, yeah, exactly. So this is what I was saying. You've put a new page, you've done a fetch to see how it looks like to Googlebot, you're satisfied, you set it the pages, and then you just send the page. Another awesome tool is the sitemap. So anyone can explain what sitemaps is? Yes.
It gives you the hierarchy of the whole site with all the pages and the links and everything.
Okay. And why is that important?
It's important so you can know exactly where to go if you're looking for something specific, maybe.
Exactly. So, and also that's pretty much the awesome answer that I was looking for.
Is it empty?
Just kidding. Yeah. So sitemaps is really important for two things. One, it gives you a better understanding of how you're creating your domain, so you know exactly what goes where. you can really optimize it for the users. So let's say a user opens a domain of I don't know, a certain food type that's to do with chicken. So probably some users, they think, okay, if I hit back, then I'm going to get all the food types that have to do with chicken. It seems logical, right? But it's not. So it gives you a better understanding of how you should structure your domain. The other one that is very useful is that it actually gives us this code. So Google can look at your website and understand your structure. So we can find all the links that you have pretty much. So all the pages that you have are in the sitemaps, and we can understand that they're there. It makes it easy for us to relate to your domain, easy for us to call it. So with this tool, you can see here the blue and red are sitemaps that have passed and sitemaps that are indexed. So these are the sitemaps that we send. These are the sitemaps that you're indexed. So obviously not every page that you send to a sitemap gets indexed. We do a couple of other things to index it, but this is just an easy way for us to understand and to take better decisions. Here sometimes, I've seen this a lot, some people have a problem with the sitemaps itself. And this is an awesome way to diagnose it. So if there was an error with sitemaps, it will give you the error right here. So you can just click it and understand a bit more, and you don't have to